The haunting allure of Houston, a city steeped in shadows. Welcome, dear viewers, to another spine-chilling episode on our haunted storytelling channel. If you're here, chances are you've already felt the pull of the supernatural, the curiosity that drives us to explore the darker corners of history and legend. Today, we're diving into the heart of Texas, a state known for its vast landscapes, vibrant culture, and rich history. But beneath the surface of Houston's bustling streets, gleaming skyscrapers, and lively neighborhoods lies a shadowy world of whispers, echoes, and unexplainable phenomena. Houston, a city that pulses with life by day, transforms into something far more mysterious after the sun dips below the horizon. Houston is not just any city, it's a sprawling metropolis with over 2 centuries of history etched into its very foundations. From its early days as a trading post along Buffalo Bayou to its current status as the 4th largest city in the United States, Houston has grown into a cultural and economic powerhouse. But growth often comes at a price, and Houston's rapid expansion has left behind forgotten places, untold stories, and restless spirits. Its haunted locations are as diverse as the city itself, ranging from historic mansions and eerie cemeteries to abandoned hospitals and industrial ruins. Each site carries its own unique tale of tragedy, loss, or mystery, waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to listen. Why focus on haunted places? Because they serve as portals to the past, connecting us to events and emotions that refuse to fade away. These locations aren't just about fear, they're about understanding the human experience in all its complexity. They remind us that history isn't confined to textbooks, it lingers in the air, in the walls, and in the soil beneath our feet. Whether you're a skeptic seeking logical explanations or a believer chasing the thrill of the unknown, Houston's haunted sites offer something for everyone. So, grab your favorite blanket, dim the lights, and prepare to embark on a journey through some of Houston's most chilling and enigmatic locations. By the end of this video, you'll not only know where to find these haunted spots but also why they continue to captivate imaginations and send shivers down spines. Let's peel back the veil of normalcy and step into a world where the line between the living and the dead blurs. Welcome to Haunted Houston. Before we delve deeper, let me set the mood. Imagine walking through the humid Houston night, the distant hum of traffic fading into silence as you approach an old building cloaked in shadows. The air feels heavier here, charged with an energy that prickles your skin. You hear faint footsteps behind you, though no one is there. A cold breeze brushes against your neck, even though the evening is warm. This is the essence of Houston's haunted places, a blend of beauty, history, and the inexplicable. Are you ready to uncover their secrets? Let's begin. The Julia C. Hester House, a mansion marred by mystery tucked away in the heart of Houston's historic Heights neighborhood, stands the Julia C. Hester House, a grand Victorian mansion that exudes both elegance and eeriness. Built in 1895, this architectural gem was once the crown jewel of the area, boasting intricate woodwork, towering turrets, and sprawling verandas that spoke to the opulence of its time. Named after its original owner, Julia C. Hester, a prominent socialite and philanthropist, the house quickly became a hub for high society gatherings and community events. However, beneath its polished exterior lies a darker narrative, one steeped in tragedy, betrayal, and lingering spirits. The story of the Hester House begins with Julia herself, a woman whose life was as complex as the mansion she called home. Known for her generosity and leadership in local charitable efforts, Julia was beloved by many. Yet, her personal life was marred by turmoil. Historical accounts suggest that she endured a strained marriage riddled with infidelity and emotional abuse. Her husband, Charles Hester, was reportedly a volatile man whose erratic behavior cast a long shadow over their household. Neighbors whispered of violent arguments echoing through the halls late at night, punctuated by the sound of slamming doors and shattered glass. Some say Julia's suffering reached a breaking point when she discovered Charles's affair with a younger woman, a scandal that ultimately tore the family apart. Tragedy struck the Hester house in 1903, when Julia mysteriously fell from the second-floor balcony during one of her lavish parties. While official records classified the incident as an accident, rumors of foul play swirled among the guests who had witnessed the couple's heated argument earlier that evening. Others claim to have seen a shadowy figure lurking near the balcony moments before Julia's fatal plunge. With no concrete evidence to support either theory, the truth remains shrouded in mystery, leaving room for speculation and haunting tales to take root. Since that fateful night, the Hester House has gained a reputation as one of Houston's most haunted locations. Visitors and paranormal investigators alike report strange occurrences within its walls. Among the most common claims are sightings of a spectral woman dressed in Victorian-era clothing, believed to be Julia herself. Witnesses describe her as appearing suddenly in the upstairs windows, gazing out with an expression of sorrow before vanishing without a trace. Others recount hearing disembodied voices, faint cries, and the sound of heels clicking against the wooden floors, as if someone were pacing restlessly through the empty rooms. One particularly chilling account comes from a group of urban explorers who ventured into the abandoned mansion on Halloween night. Armed with flashlights and audio recorders, they hoped to capture evidence of paranormal activity. As they ascended the staircase leading to the second floor, one member claimed to feel an icy grip on his shoulder, despite being alone. Moments later, their equipment malfunctioned simultaneously, producing static-filled recordings interspersed with what sounded like muffled sobs. When reviewing the footage later, they noticed a faint figure standing at the top of the stairs, a ghostly silhouette that hadn't been visible to the naked eye. Another recurring phenomenon involves the scent of roses, which permeates certain areas of the house without explanation. Locals believe this fragrance is tied to Julia's love for gardening, as she maintained a lush rose garden during her lifetime. However, the sweetness of the aroma is often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of sadness, leaving those who encounter it feeling uneasy. Despite its haunting reputation, the Julia C. Hester House remains a popular destination for thrill-seekers and history enthusiasts alike. Paranormal tours frequently include stops at the mansion, inviting participants to experience its chilling atmosphere firsthand. For those brave enough to step inside, the house offers a glimpse into a bygone era, and perhaps a brush with the supernatural forces that continue to linger within its walls. As we leave the Hester House behind, one thing becomes clear: this majestic yet tragic dwelling serves as a poignant reminder of how deeply intertwined history and hauntings can be. Its stories of love, loss, and betrayal resonate across generations, ensuring that Julia C. Hester's legacy will endure, not only in memory but also in the whispers carried by the wind through its haunted halls. The whispering walls of Jefferson Davis Hospital nestled along Allen Parkway. The imposing structure of Jefferson Davis Hospital looms large, casting long shadows that seem to stretch endlessly across the surrounding landscape. Originally constructed in 1924, this hospital served as a critical medical facility for the burgeoning city of Houston. Its architecture, a blend of Gothic and classical styles, was designed to inspire confidence and healing, with towering columns and expansive windows that promised light and hope. However, beneath its dignified facade, the hospital harbored a dark secret, a labyrinthine network of underground tunnels that would become the stuff of nightmares. The origins of these tunnels date back to the hospital's inception, initially intended for practical purposes such as transporting supplies and patients discreetly between different sections of the facility. Over time, however, these subterranean passages took on a more sinister role. During the mid-20th century, as mental health care practices evolved, or regressed, the tunnels were repurposed for less savory activities. It is rumored that they were used for isolating unruly or undesirable patients away from public view and scrutiny. The isolation was not merely physical, it was psychological, as the echoing corridors amplified every scream and sob, creating an inescapable soundscape of despair. The hospital's closure in 2007 did little to silence the stories that had begun to circulate about the tunnels. Local legends speak of a maintenance worker who disappeared without a trace while performing routine checks in the tunnels. His colleagues reported hearing faint tapping sounds emanating from deep within the passageways, a rhythmic knocking that seemed almost deliberate. Search parties dispatched to locate him found nothing but a single shoe, damp and muddy, lying abandoned in a puddle of stagnant water. The tapping continued sporadically for weeks, growing louder and more insistent, until it abruptly ceased altogether. Paranormal investigators drawn to the site have documented numerous unsettling encounters. One team captured chilling EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, recordings, capturing disembodied voices pleading for help or whispering cryptic phrases like, "Get me out," and "Leave me alone." Thermal imaging cameras revealed cold spots moving unpredictably through the tunnels, often accompanied by sudden drops in temperature that left investigators shivering despite their heavy gear. Perhaps most disturbing were the visual apparitions caught on camera, shadowy figures darting across the frame, their forms indistinct yet unmistakably humanoid. Visitors daring enough to explore the tunnels themselves report experiencing intense feelings of dread and unease. Many describe a sensation of being watched, even when completely alone. The air grows thick and oppressive, making each breath laborious. Footsteps echo unnaturally, sometimes seeming to follow closely behind, other times retreating into the distance, as if mocking pursuit. Some claim to see fleeting glimpses of figures in white uniforms, reminiscent of the nurses and orderlies who once roamed the hospital halls, their faces obscured by darkness. One particularly harrowing account comes from a young woman named Sarah, who visited the tunnels with friends seeking a thrill. As they ventured deeper, the group began to notice scratch marks on the walls, fresh and jagged, as if made by desperate hands trying to claw their way out. Suddenly, Sarah felt an invisible force shove her violently against the wall, leaving bruises that appeared hours later. Panicked, the group fled, but not before hearing a blood-curdling scream reverberate through the tunnels, sending chills down their spines long after escaping into the safety of daylight. Despite, or perhaps because of, these terrifying tales, the underground tunnels of Jefferson Davis Hospital continue to attract curious souls eager to confront the unknown. Urban explorers, ghost hunters, and thrill-seekers flock to the site, drawn by the promise of encountering something beyond the realm of the ordinary. For those willing to brave the darkness, the tunnels offer a visceral connection to the past, a tangible link to the suffering and secrets buried beneath Houston's surface. As we emerge from the depths of these haunted passageways, it becomes evident that the true horror lies not just in the supernatural phenomena reported but in the human capacity for cruelty and neglect. The whispers echoing through the tunnels are not merely ghostly murmurs but cries for justice and remembrance, reminders of lives lost and stories forgotten. In exploring these underground chambers, we confront not only the specter of death but also the enduring impact of humanity's darker impulses. The Ghosts of Houston Fire Station No. 6 inches the heart of downtown Houston. Nestled amidst modern skyscrapers and bustling streets, stands Fire Station No. 6, a relic of the city's firefighting history and a hotspot for paranormal activity. Constructed in 1899, this historic firehouse served as a vital part of Houston's emergency response system for nearly a century. Its red brick facade and arched doorways evoke a sense of nostalgia, but behind its weathered walls lie tales of bravery, sacrifice, and spectral encounters that have earned it a place among Houston's most haunted landmarks. Fire Station No. 6 was home to some of Houston's earliest firefighters, men who risked their lives daily to protect the growing city. Among them was Captain William Bill O'Connor, a revered leader known for his unwavering dedication to duty. Bill's tenure at the station spanned 3 decades, during which he led countless rescue missions and saved numerous lives. However, his heroic story ended tragically in 1927 when he perished while battling a massive warehouse blaze. Witnesses recounted seeing Bill rush into the inferno without hesitation, determined to save trapped workers. He never emerged, leaving behind a grieving family and a legacy of courage that would forever be associated with Fire Station No. 6. Following Bill's death, strange occurrences began to plague the firehouse. Current firefighters stationed there report hearing phantom footsteps echoing through the halls, especially late at night when the building is otherwise silent. Some describe the sound of boots clomping up and down the staircase, as if someone were patrolling the premises. Others claim to see shadowy figures in vintage firefighter uniforms lingering near the engine bay or peering out of second-story windows. The most frequent sighting involves a tall, broad-shouldered man resembling Captain O'Connor, standing solemnly by the front doors as if keeping watch over his former domain. One particularly compelling account comes from Lieutenant Mark Harris, a veteran firefighter who spent several years assigned to Fire Station No. 6. During a quiet overnight shift, Mark was startled awake by the shrill ring of the alarm bell, a device that had been decommissioned decades ago. Confused and disoriented, he rushed to investigate, only to find the station deserted. As he turned to head back to bed, he caught sight of a translucent figure standing near the apparatus bay. The apparition bore a striking resemblance to Bill O'Connor, complete with turn-of-the-century firefighting gear. Before Mark could react, the figure vanished, leaving behind a faint smell of smoke and singed fabric. Other staff members have shared similar experiences, describing objects moving inexplicably, doors opening and closing on their own, and radios crackling with static-laden messages from no discernible source. One eerie incident involved a rookie firefighter named Jake Thompson, who swore he felt an icy hand grasp his shoulder while inspecting the hose tower. When he spun around, no one was there. Moments later, the antique fire pole rattled violently, as if shaken by an unseen force. Shaken but intrigued, Jake later learned that the pole had been the site of a fatal accident in the 1940s, when a young firefighter slipped and fell to his death. Despite, or perhaps because of, these unsettling phenomena, Fire Station No. 6 continues to draw interest from paranormal enthusiasts and history buffs alike. Guided tours organized by local preservation groups offer visitors a chance to explore the firehouse and learn about its storied past. Participants often recount feeling a palpable sense of presence within the building, as if the spirits of past firefighters remain ever vigilant, guarding the station they once called home. For those brave enough to venture inside, Fire Station No. 6 provides a unique opportunity to connect with Houston's firefighting heritage and the valiant souls who dedicated their lives to protecting the city. Whether viewed as a tribute to fallen heroes or a genuine haunt for restless spirits, the firehouse stands as a testament to the enduring bond between the living and the dead, a bond forged in the flames of service and sacrifice. The phantom voices of Glenwood Cemetery. Amidst the rolling hills and serene landscapes of Houston lies Glenwood Cemetery, a final resting place steeped in history and haunted by whispers from beyond the grave. Established in 1871, this picturesque burial ground spans over 80 acres and serves as the eternal home for many of Houston's most influential figures. From oil tycoons and politicians to artists and philanthropists, Glenwood Cemetery houses a diverse array of notable residents whose contributions shaped the city's identity. Yet, beneath its tranquil surface, the cemetery harbors eerie tales of ghostly apparitions and spectral voices that defy explanation. One of the most famous interments at Glenwood is Howard Hughes, the eccentric billionaire whose life was as enigmatic as his death. Although his body rests elsewhere, his family plot remains a focal point for paranormal activity. Visitors often report hearing faint whispers emanating from the vicinity, words too soft to decipher but laden with emotion. Some claim these murmurs belong to Hughes himself, lamenting the isolation and paranoia that plagued his later years. Others speculate they might be messages from his ancestors, watching over the legacy he left behind. Equally intriguing is the grave of Ima Hogg, a prominent philanthropist and cultural icon whose name has sparked endless fascination. Known affectionately as Miss Ima, she dedicated her life to preserving Texas history and supporting the arts. Her tombstone, adorned with elegant carvings and floral motifs, stands as a testament to her refined tastes. Yet those who visit her resting place speak of an uncanny sensation, as if Miss Ima's spirit lingers nearby, observing silently. Occasionally, visitors report hearing melodic hums or gentle laughter, as though she finds amusement in the curiosity her unusual name continues to generate. Beyond individual graves, the entire cemetery seems alive with unseen energies. Mourners and tourists alike recount experiences of being followed by shadowy figures, their forms flickering between trees and monuments. Others describe sudden temperature drops, accompanied by a suffocating stillness that halts all natural sounds. Birds cease their chirping, leaves stop rustling, and even the wind holds its breath, creating an atmosphere thick with anticipation. These moments are often punctuated by disembodied voices calling out names or reciting fragments of poetry, leaving witnesses bewildered and unsettled. Perhaps the most chilling encounter occurred during a guided tour led by a local historian specializing in cemetery lore. As the group approached the mausoleum of a prominent Houston family, a participant suddenly froze, pointing towards the entrance. There, etched faintly into the stone doorway, appeared the word, "Help," scrawled in what looked like freshly dried blood. Panic ensued as attendees scrambled to photograph the inscription, but upon closer inspection, it vanished as quickly as it had appeared. The guide, visibly shaken, later admitted having never witnessed anything like it in decades of conducting tours. Such incidents are not isolated. Security personnel patrolling the grounds at night frequently log reports of peculiar happenings. Motion detectors triggered without cause, security cameras capturing blurry shapes darting across pathways, and radios picking up garbled transmissions, all contribute to the growing legend of Glenwood Cemetery as a nexus of paranormal activity. Even skeptics admit to feeling an inexplicable heaviness in certain areas, as though weighed down by centuries of accumulated sorrow and regret. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, Glenwood Cemetery remains a popular destination for both locals and tourists. Annual events such as candlelight vigils and historical reenactments attract crowds eager to pay respects while indulging their fascination with the supernatural. For many, the allure lies not only in the prospect of encountering ghosts but also in the opportunity to reflect on mortality and the legacies we leave behind. As dusk settles over Glenwood Cemetery, casting long shadows and bathing the landscape in an ethereal glow, one cannot help but feel a profound connection to the past. The phantom voices that drift through the air serve as poignant reminders of lives lived, loves lost, and stories untold. In this sacred space, the boundary between the living and the dead blurs, inviting us to listen closely to the whispers of history and honor the memories of those who came before. The enigma of Sam Houston Park. Nature meets the supernatural. Nestled in the heart of downtown Houston, Sam Houston Park stands as a verdant oasis amidst the urban sprawl, offering visitors a serene escape into nature. Established in 1899, this historic park spans over 19 acres and is renowned for its lush greenery, winding trails, and meticulously preserved 19th-century homes that transport visitors back in time. However, beneath its tranquil facade lies a tapestry of eerie tales and supernatural occurrences that have earned it a reputation as one of Houston's most haunted parks. The juxtaposition of its idyllic setting with its chilling history makes Sam Houston Park a magnet for both families seeking leisure and thrill-seekers yearning for a brush with the paranormal. The park's haunted reputation stems largely from its association with the Kellum Noble House, the oldest surviving brick structure in Houston, built in 1847. Once inhabited by the Noble family, the house has been the subject of numerous ghostly sightings and unexplained phenomena. Visitors have reported seeing the apparition of a young girl, believed to be Katie, Noble, playing near the house or peeking through its windows. Katie, who tragically passed away at a young age, is said to still roam the grounds, her laughter occasionally heard echoing through the park. More unsettling are the accounts of a malevolent presence within the house, with some claiming to feel an oppressive weight or icy fingers brushing against their skin. Adjacent to the Kellum Noble House stands the Old Place, another historic home relocated to Sam Houston Park. This quaint cottage, originally built in 1823, predates Houston itself and carries its own share of ghostly legends. Locals speak of a spectral woman in period attire who appears in the window, gazing wistfully at the park below. Others recount hearing faint piano music emanating from the empty house, attributed to the spirit of a former resident who loved to play. The combination of these two haunted homes creates an atmospheric tension that permeates the entire park, drawing curious souls eager to unravel its mysteries. Nature lovers visiting Sam Houston Park often find themselves captivated not only by its scenic beauty but also by the subtle anomalies that punctuate their experience. Birdwatchers have noted peculiar avian behavior, with birds suddenly taking flight en masse or falling eerily silent upon approaching certain areas. Gardeners tending to the park's flora report tools moving inexplicably or plants wilting overnight despite optimal conditions. Such occurrences lend credence to the belief that the park is imbued with an otherworldly energy, one that resonates with those attuned to the supernatural. Families frequenting the park for picnics and playground visits may inadvertently stumble upon signs of its haunted legacy. Children playing tag sometimes pause, wide-eyed, claiming to see shadowy figures darting between trees. Parents relaxing on benches might catch fleeting glimpses of translucent forms wandering the paths, only to vanish upon closer inspection. These encounters, though brief, leave lasting impressions, sparking conversations and fueling the park's mystique. For thrill seekers, Sam Houston Park presents a tantalizing challenge, a chance to confront the unknown within a seemingly ordinary environment. Paranormal investigation groups regularly organize nighttime excursions, armed with EMF detectors and digital recorders, hoping to capture definitive proof of the park's spectral inhabitants. Their findings, ranging from EVP recordings of indistinct voices to thermal images showing anomalous heat signatures, add layers of intrigue to the park's haunted narrative. Tourists, drawn by tales of ghostly encounters, join these expeditions, their excitement mingling with trepidation as they navigate the dimly lit trails under the cover of darkness. Even casual visitors, unaware of the park's haunted reputation, sometimes depart with unforgettable memories. Couples strolling hand in hand have reported feeling an inexplicable chill, followed by the sensation of being watched. Solo joggers, accustomed to the solitude of dawn runs, describe hearing footsteps trailing behind them, only to discover no one there. Each anecdote contributes to the collective lore of Sam Houston Park, weaving a rich tapestry of supernatural encounters that defy rational explanation. In essence, Sam Houston Park embodies the duality of Houston itself, a harmonious blend of natural splendor and historical intrigue, where the boundaries between the mundane and the mysterious blur seamlessly. Whether you're a family enjoying a sunny afternoon, a nature enthusiast marveling at the park's biodiversity, or a thrill seeker chasing the adrenaline rush of a ghostly encounter, Sam Houston Park offers something for everyone. Its haunted charm serves as a reminder that even in the heart of a bustling metropolis, the whispers of the past can still be heard, inviting us to explore the unseen dimensions of our world. The shadowy streets of Freedmanstown, echoes of resilience and restlessness at the intersection of history, struggle, and the supernatural lies. Freedmanstown, a neighborhood that stands as a testament to the resilience of Houston's African American community. Established in the aftermath of the Civil War, Freedmanstown was carved out of adversity by formerly enslaved individuals seeking freedom and self-determination. Nestled west of downtown Houston, this historic district became a beacon of hope and progress, with its cobblestone streets laid by the hands of those who dared to dream of a better future. Yet, beneath its proud legacy, Freedmanstown harbors a darker, more spectral dimension, an undercurrent of unrest that manifests in eerie sightings and chilling whispers from the past. Freedmanstown owes its existence to the determination of freed slaves who settled in the area starting in 1865. Denied access to resources and opportunities elsewhere, they pooled their meager earnings to purchase land and build homes, churches, and schools. The community thrived, becoming a cultural and economic hub for African Americans in Houston. However, this prosperity came at a cost. Discrimination, segregation, and systemic oppression cast long shadows over the town, forcing its residents to endure hardships that left indelible scars on the collective psyche. Tragedies such as forced evictions, racially motivated violence, and the erasure of landmarks have compounded the grief embedded in Freedmanstown, giving rise to tales of restless spirits unable to find peace. One of the most persistent paranormal phenomena reported in Freedmanstown involves the cobblestone streets themselves. Laid by African American laborers using bricks salvaged from demolished buildings, these streets are imbued with the sweat, tears, and hopes of those who built them. Residents and visitors alike claim to hear faint hammering and scraping sounds emanating from the pavement, as if the workers are still toiling away in the dead of night. On moonlit evenings, some swear they can see shadowy figures bent over the stones, their forms flickering like candle flames in the wind. These apparitions are believed to be the spirits of the laborers, bound to the streets they painstakingly constructed, unable to rest until their work is acknowledged and honored. The legacy of Houston's haunted places, bridging history and the supernatural. As we conclude our journey through Houston's most haunted locales, it becomes evident that these sites are more than mere settings for spooky tales. They are living testaments to the city's layered history and the enduring impact of human experiences. Each location explored, from the tragic elegance of the Julia C. Hester House to the spectral whispers of Glenwood Cemetery, serves as a portal to the past, connecting us to events and emotions that transcend the boundaries of time. Far from being relics of fear, These haunted places embody the resilience, struggles, and triumphs of those who walked before us, their stories etched into the very fabric of Houston's identity. The significance of these haunted sites extends beyond their paranormal allure. They act as custodians of memory, preserving narratives that might otherwise fade into obscurity. Consider Jefferson Davis Hospital, whose underground tunnels echo with the despair of forgotten patients, or Freedmanstown, where the cobblestone streets bear the imprints of labor and loss. These locations compel us to confront uncomfortable truths about our collective history, the injustices, the sacrifices, and the unresolved grief that continue to resonate today. By engaging with these spaces, we honor the lives and legacies of those who shaped Houston, ensuring their voices remain heard, whether through whispered echoes or written records. Moreover, the supernatural elements woven into these tales serve as metaphors for the complexities of human existence. Ghosts, apparitions, and unexplained phenomena symbolize the lingering effects of trauma, the persistence of memory, and the universal quest for closure. The phantom footsteps in Fire Station No. 6, the spectral laughter in Sam Houston Park, and the mournful hymns in Freedmanstown's churches remind us that the past is never truly buried. It lingers, waiting to be acknowledged and understood. In embracing these stories, we engage in a dialogue with history, allowing ourselves to grapple with its lessons and legacies. Thank you for joining me on this chilling yet enlightening expedition through Houston's haunted history. As we close this chapter, remember that the spirits of the past are not confined to creaking floorboards or shadowy figures. They live on in the stories we tell, the memories we cherish, and the lessons we carry forward. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and keep exploring the mysteries that surround us. Good night, and sweet dreams, if you dare.